I've spoken about my former employer many times, and I think people know how I feel about the culture that is there, that existed when I was there, and in a way still exists. If you look at the statement that ESPN put out when it came to Sage, as opposed as the statement they put out when it came to Jamel, when she got into her little kerfuffle with the then president of the United States, when she called him a white supremacist, you'll see that it's entirely different tones there. But if we put up Sage's apology once again, I want to point out something. Sage's apology real quick, because when she talks about, she says, I know my recent comments created controversy for the company and I apologize. That means she's apologizing because her comments created controversy for ESPN. Doesn't necessarily mean that she apologizes for what she said, right? And like I said before, I've been on Sage for a long period of time. I'm not going to hide from that, but I'm also a person that won't tell my friends or people I consider friends or people that might consider me friends what they want to hear, but what they need to hear. And in this, Sage needs to hear this, because there are three things that she talked about, not just Barack Obama's dad and the fact that he may not have been around, which she shouldn't have brought up in the first place. There's no need to bring that up to talk about your situation. If you feel like you're mixed, you're mixed. The vaccine mandate, which he thinks is sick. I know Disney does not play that when you come around to that. But also another thing that is not being brought up and not being said enough, and that's talking about women sportscasters and how they're dressing. And basically, almost, even though she tried to preface herself by saying, no, I'm not saying that this is anything condones that or whatever, but you cannot mix somebody the way they dress and then throw out saying basically, hey, well, if you do this, if you dress this way, then of course you expect men to act a certain way. That right there is probably the reason why she got pulled off the air and why she got pulled from being a host at the ESPNW Summit. When it comes to the race situation, Sharon, Sage needs to realize no matter how she sees herself, it's how they see you that matters in this country, right? And that has been always been the issue. Once again, ESPN has allowed this issue and this culture to fester for so many years and it's built up to this point, and now it's come to a head. And like you said, maybe a week isn't enough. But then again, does Sage even want to be at ESPN anymore, or does she need to be at ESPN, which I think she's already said she needs the job. I don't know if she really wants to be there anymore. But once again, it's up for debate. What do you think? What do you think as far as the whole suspension and as the amount of the suspension is concerned? Which they're not even calling a suspension.
I don't really want to see any person who has a family, who says they need the work out of a job. That said, our work is a privilege, not a right. It is held up to a standard. I won't even say a higher standard because of what people think, so many journalists, hosts, whatever. But Sage and her non-apology was it was crafted very carefully. She talks about thoughtful and constructive comments. She thought about them. They were thoughtful. She meant exactly what she said, right? She meant to deconstruct, if you will, and put down black and brown people, including the former president, who, by the way, he may be of a certain age and a two-term former president of the United States of America, leader of the free world. He may be those things, but at the end of the day, he's that man's child who didn't ask to be born, same as the rest of us. So again, I don't know why you brought him up, his father, except to be ignorant, as her comments were. I don't know if Sage Steele wants to be at ESPN. I think she aspires to other things. How do I know? Because I've seen her and her reps sample her in other places. Didn't work out. Maybe the talent's not there. Maybe the attitude's not there. Maybe she's just not that good. I don't need to see her. I don't need to see her on a screen anymore, but I respect others who perhaps do, okay? ESPN is a joke.
A lot of people. And hopefully they'll look. I can't even talk about ESPN anymore because I don't want people to think that I'm looking back, because I'm looking forward.
You're bitter. Yeah.
What's crazy? What's crazy about the whole Sage Steele situation is she'd actually be a perfect replacement. Listen to what I'm saying now. Not necessarily that you want to hear the views.
I know.
But when you think about the View, right?
You're right.
With Meghan McCain leaving, she would be a perfect replacement for her because they need that balance when it comes to Democrat, Republican, progressive, conservative. You need that balance on those talk shows. I understand that. But guess what's going to hold her back, ironically? Something that she is not looking at, that she doesn't want to admit, that she doesn't want people, that she doesn't see in herself, but they see when it comes to her. They see her black skin. You know this business, Sharon. Do you understand where I'm going here? They have Whoopi, they have Sunny, and they have Joy. They are not, how many places do you think are going to put 3 black women on the air and 1 white woman when it comes to a show like that? Ask yourself. When it comes to that. Now, if they had more, if they had other, I'm just saying, can you see that actually happen? Because at the end of the day, no matter what she says coming out of her mouth, there are going to be people that's going to see skin color instead of what is coming out of the mouth, instead of that balance. And I don't see that happening. We haven't gotten to that point yet. I wish we could, because you could see 3 whites and 1 black, but it's rare, if ever, that you see, when it comes to a big panel like that, the majority of the panel on a show like that, where the majority of the people on that program will be black. I just don't see it. I don't see it.
Well, she would be the perfect replacement for Meghan McCain. I know we got a wrap on The View for this reason. Meghan McCain said some really outlandish things. She really did. And some vapid, uninformed things. And I feel the same way about Sage Steele. I think that you can have a great show with all these panelists who maybe look like us but don't talk like us, whatever. All they need to be is intelligent, okay? Her statement, again, talked about being thoughtful and constructive. 2 things she's not, okay? She went out there and danced
another reason
with
she'd
Cutler
be a great replacement for Meghan.
Well, and that's the only reason, because I think you could sub one for the other, and they both said some things that were not profound. Go ahead, be provocative. I love being provocative. Be intelligent. Come with some sound arguments, even if people don't agree with you. And man, that's a hit, baby. That's a hit. Sage Steele's not. She's not. I think she said these things so that she could get out there and try to break free after all these years from ESPN that doesn't value her. And I'm not saying they should, talent-wise. They don't value her. She wants out. She wants more.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what she gets when it comes to more.